Hey, welcome back. I did it. I'm going to talk about Anna Karenina again today. I like it. I like the book. I keep liking it more and more. I'm on part 5. I almost finished part 5. There's 8 parts, so there's only 3 parts left. I'll probably finish it the next time I drive to Rome. I'll listen to it on the way, and there can't be that much more than 4 hours left. I mean 8 hours, because I listened to it on 2 times speed. Because Maggie Gyllenhaal talks really slow. Here, this is how... It's not really that fast when you put it on 2 times speed. Ooh, we can listen to the next part of the book together. You want to listen to it? Is this allowed?
And long as she had been thinking of it and preparing herself for it, on her veil and quickening her pace, almost ran out of the room. She had not time to undo, and so carried back with her the parcel of toys she had chosen the day before in a toy shop, with such love and sorrow. Chapter 31. As intensely as Anna had longed to see her son, and long as she had been thinking of it and preparing herself for it, she had not in the least expected that seeing him...
So now let's listen to it on 1 time speed. And it's going to be like... Bleh, 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 bleh.
...and would affect her so deeply. On getting back to her lonely rooms in the hotel, she could not for a long while understand why she was there.
It's so weird to listen to it. She's like, bleh. Talk faster. Okay, where do I go with? I can go somewhere special with the hammer. Down here? No. There's a place... Where is it? Okay, so okay, there's 2 main characters. I mentioned this before. One is Anna Karenina, the titular Anna Karenina, and the other is Levin. I forget what his last name is. And Anna's story is interesting, but I keep getting more and more interested by Levin's story because I feel like I really relate to him, but like in a bad way. I see, like, I've mentioned before, the good thing about Tolstoy is like he's really good at explaining interactions and stuff. And so it's really cool that he has this Levin character, and I'm like, I see a lot of myself in him, but like sometimes a lot of bad things too. Actually, mostly bad. Levin isn't a very likable character to me. I don't know why he's one of the main characters, but Anna's a little... It's kind of cool that Tolstoy doesn't make Anna or Levin like perfect people, because Anna does stuff. Anna cheats on her husband, and her husband isn't really that bad of a person. She's not like abusing her or anything. He's just kind of like a doof, and Anna doesn't really like him. But it's kind of like, oh, it's Anna's fault. Why'd she get married to him if she didn't really like him? Then she gets married. She has an affair, which is bad, and then she is kind of like, sometimes she's like mean to her kid, but like it's real. Like that's what would really happen if in that situation. So it makes sense, and it's good. It's cool. I like it. So Levin, though, I talked about Levin's story a little bit before. He marries this princess, or the daughter of a princess. I'm not sure how it works, but Levin's kind of older. I think he's like 30, and he marries Kitty, who's like 18 or 19. And I was talking about last time how like, oh, that's weird. I don't like that, and I would never do that. And I wouldn't. But okay, a lot of things that I relate to with Levin. I guess I'll just go through them. So one thing was, Levin talked about how when he was single, he used to see couples arguing and get kind of like self-righteous or whatever and be like, oh, I would never do that. When I'm married, Like, how could you argue with your wife about, like, such petty stuff? And that's what I think, too, when I see people, like, couples arguing in public or something, or even my parents, like, bickering about something stupid, like the garbage or whatever. I'm like, how are you, like, when I'm married, I would never argue about this stupid stuff. But then Tolstoy kind of walks you through how that happens. Like, you're with this person all the time and you love them, and then, like, you care so much about them that the little stuff becomes important, because it seems petty to a person outside, like, oh, the garbage, but, like, when you're with somebody and they're your wife and they're your whole life, then the little stuff becomes important. I don't know where to go. And Tolstoy explains that better than me, but... Okay, now where do I go that I have the hammer? Did I go that way? No. Okay, this is where I have to go. I have to go... Okay. You go to the right. You have to go to the right. And then you go up, and then... Okay, I know what to do. Don't worry. You're in good hands. I need you to shoot that thing with an arrow. Maybe? Come on. Okay. I feel the same way when I see couples or my parents have disagreements. I'll never be like that. Treat your wife like that. And then once you're inside, you have these petty things. They have an argument about seeing Levin's sick brother. Kitty is offended that Levin is trying to protect her. That's something that I could definitely see happening to me. Well, this isn't really a petty thing. It's not an example of a petty thing, but Levin's brother gets really sick, Nikolai or something, and so Levin's like, okay, I'm going to go see him because he might be dead soon. And then he tells Kitty, like, okay, you stay here because, like, I don't want you to see him in this whole situation. It's going to be a whole thing, and I don't want you to be there because, like, everybody's going to be stressed out. And I don't want you to have to go through that because, like, I love you, obviously. I don't want you to deal with this. And then she gets kind of offended, like, why did you marry me if you don't want me to, like, to be a part of your life? This is your life. And then they get in this argument, and Levin's like, no, you can't come. I don't want you to come. And Kitty's, like, mad at him. Eventually, I think, well, obviously, Levin relents, and he lets Kitty come. And I could see myself doing that, like trying to be a white knight about it, or overprotective of your spouse. I guess that's a good thing. Well, that's an example of, like, that's not really a bad quality. I'll try to think of, like, the bad quality. I don't know. I mean, if I was in Levin's situation... Oh, this was the one I wanted to mention. So what he does is he proposes to Kitty, and Kitty rejects him because she's, like, young and she doesn't super like him. And she's like, oh, I probably want to marry Vronsky because he's cooler and younger and he's a soldier and he's got bigger muscles or something. And so then Kitty gets sick, and Vronsky has the affair with Anna, and he loves Anna, so Vronsky's not there anymore. So Kitty gets kind of depressed, and she's like, oh, I'll never marry anybody. Oh, I need a key. Wasn't expecting that. But now that I have the hammer, everything's okay. So then a couple years later, Levin comes back to Kitty, and everyone's telling Levin, like, if you propose again, she might say yes, because Vronsky's not there, and she's been kind of sad about not being married. But Levin is like, no. he's like stubborn. He gets really stubborn about it. And he's like, no, she said no. Like he's so prideful about it. I feel like I could be, I don't know. For some reason I was feeling like if I was in that situation, I probably would feel the same way. Like that's a negative thing about Levin that I related to. He's stubborn and prideful. I feel like I could be like that. Like, no, she said no, so she said she didn't want to marry me, so I'm not gonna marry her. I was also kind of being a little self-righteous about Levin being older and being like, oh, that's gross. Like, marrying an 18-year-old, that's gross. I would never do that, and I wouldn't. But that's just because, I don't know. No, it would just be gross. Like, I don't know. What I said was like, oh, imagine if I was saying, like, oh, I met this 18-year-old and she's so pretty and nice and I want to marry her. That would be weird. And it would. But I don't know, if I was in like 18th century or 19th century Russia and this princess wanted to marry me and like I was this dumb farmer idiot, maybe I might want to do that. I don't know. So I'm just trying not to be too hard on Levin, maybe. Because I'm like him. I don't know. I don't want to be too hard on him because I feel like similar every time he has a thought and Tolstoy explains Levin's thoughts. I'm like, oh, that's me. In like a bad way too. Like he's so stubborn and prideful and he's like antisocial kind of, and oh, that's me. He's awkward and weird. That's me. I'm Levin. I don't know why I'm stuck here. I don't know where the key is. The last key. I think I wasted it. Again? Is that possible? That can't be possible. There must be a key somewhere. I think I'll end and I'll try to find the stupid key. Okay, well, what did I say about Lemon? They have an argument about seeing Levin's sick brother. Kitty's offended that Levin is trying to protect her. She's like, I'm your wife. Why did you get married to me if you don't want me to be with you? Yeah, that was it. Where do I go? Okay, I went down there. I did that. It's saying you need a key, and I don't have one. Additionally, from the dungeon entrance, the pathway to the right leads to a small key. Okay, I'll come back and I'll figure out how to get that key. By tomorrow, we'll beat the boss, I promise. So, see you tomorrow. Bye.